Well, evening folks, that's the bike in. Just when it looked like nothing was going to happen, James from Tall came running in and said, that's it, cleared, it's cleared in the system. So that was at 4:15. By 4:20, I was on the bike, had it packed, and was tearing my way out of the Tall yard, because I'd been told the last inspection at the sort of like the DVLA type place, that was at 4:30, so I'd been told. So I got there for bang on 4:30, only to find out that the last inspection was actually 5:30 on a Friday, so it worked out for me in the end. Got the bike inspected. It's just a general roadworthiness check they do. They check the horn, tyres, brake pads, indicator lights, all that sort of stuff. As it was, my both front and back tyres are legally bald. I've got no brake pads and the right indicator's knackered. So she would have failed it, but she knows Marty, the guy at Cyclone Motorcycles, who I'm taking the bike to first thing in the morning. So I said, look, it's going straight from here to Cyclone. So she was a wee diamond, and she signed it in for me. So that was done. Then I had to pay the insurance, 1 month, 1 month's insurance, just basic third party, plus to pay for the inspection was $120 odd, which is roughly about 50-60 quid, something like that. So a lot more expensive than I've been used to, but probably still way cheaper in the UK. But that was it. But by that point it was then 6:30 by the time that was all done, so it was too late to get it into Cyclones. So I found a place to stay, the Leprechaun Resort. Hello there, just round the corner from Cyclones. So I'll pop there first thing in the morning, see if Marty and the lads can get around for the service, new brake pads and new boots. If they can, I'll hit the road Sunday morning. If they can't, I'll have to put it in on Monday, which will mean I'll not hit the road till Tuesday. So we'll have to wait and see. I'm just uploading episode 11 just now. Got some good Wi-Fi here at the Leprechaun Resort. So yeah, hopefully you'll see what she went through in Laos. Still amazes me what the tyres and that bike put up with. Absolutely incredible what they put up with in Laos. But hopefully you'll see for yourself. Alright folks, take it easy.
Player of the year in the US League. Now it's a critical 4th and 5. There's a handoff to Jules Park along the left side, trying to break it. She will not get enough. Another shot. Close. Gee, I really like that bluffing on the edge. The lanes have just.
I love Australia.
I eventually got the bike back from Cyclone Motorcycles on Christmas Eve after the most expensive service in the world, but I was back on the road.
I turned to you for a little while, hoping to catch a forbidden smile. Oh yeah, oh yeah. Standing on the edge.
Right folks, hope you can hear me. It's quite windy out here. Right, I am now right near the border of the Northern Territories and Queensland. I've really been pegging it all yesterday. Yesterday I managed to do 650 odd miles from Darwin all the way down to Three Ways, which is the turn off for the Highway 66, which takes me straight across to Townsville. So yeah, it's a long day in the saddle yesterday. Spent Christmas Eve in a tent in the outback, pretty cool. And then today I'm just pegging straight across to Townsville. It's about 1,000 miles today, so I don't think I'll manage that, to be honest. One thing you really need to watch out here is fuel. They're really good with signs telling you how far the next fuel is, but keep note of that. And I've had to carry spares with me, some couple of jerry cans, and I've had to use them today because it's a big old distance. This one's about 260k, I think. It's just out the reach of this bike. I can do about 220k on a normal tank, so I've just had to chuck in a couple of extra litres. The other thing about Oz, everyone warns you about crocs, roos, scorpions, snakes, everything like that. The only roo I've seen is a dead one at the side of the road. Same with the cattle. I've seen a wee bit more cattle now, but that's been about it, apart from the bird life. There's loads and loads of bird life, but there's hardly any roos. And I met some Aussies this morning at a petrol station, and apparently just recently the Aussie government has done a massive cull give you some idea, they killed over 12,000 horses. That's just the horses. So they've done the same with the roos, everything. And you know, the outback's exactly that. It is barren. There's nothing out here. Nothing. No signs of life apart from the odd cattle. And I've seen a couple of horse this morning. But that's about it. And the other thing you get, I don't know if you can see them, you don't really get mozzies. I've not seen the mozzies in Oz yet. I'm sure, I've been told there are, but I haven't seen them yet. But what you do get is flies, and hundreds and hundreds. They swarm round you. And they can fairly do alright in the wind. It's quite blowy here, but they're still hanging around. So obviously where you get good flies and mozzies, you get a lot of birds. And the bird life around here is incredible. Some of the eagles, they're massive, some of these eagles. Because because all the roadkill that you get, these eagles come down and scoff the roadkill. And Scotty at the Leprechaun Resort, he was telling me, and it's true, you'll be coming along and you see them swarming round a carcass in the road, and they all start to try and take off, but they've eaten so much they can't take off, so they'll walloping down the road trying to overtake, and you're coming on them at 130k an hour or more sometimes. And there's been a couple of close calls. These eagles have got like a 6-foot wingspan. They're big old units. But anyway, I'm loving being back on the road. Absolutely loving it. Let's see what the next couple of hours brings, eh? Well, I saw my first squad of wild kangaroos. Yeah, nearly killed me. My God, they are the dumbest animals I've ever met in my life. They go to run the opposite way, they turn around and run. Oh well. Now I've seen some wild kangaroos, they bugger off by the time I get stopped to get the camera out, but they're just down there. Beautiful place I'm in, about 350 miles west of Townsville. It's a hell of a day today, 650 or 700 miles. Town of Richmond. It's about 50 k's along the road, so I'm going to try and find somewhere to sleep there tonight. Merry Christmas.
I'm a man who doesn't care what they think about the things that I do. Know what they think, but you don't have a clue, yeah. I am impossible to teach. I'm just barely out of reach.
Changed a bit from what I remember. Right then peeps, I've made it. I'm now at Castaway Beach, which is just north of Brisbane on the east coast of Oz. Long old ride that. I made it as far as a place called Richmond, so I spent Christmas Day night again in the outback, just into Queensland though. And then the next day I got towards Townsville, headed south down the east to Airlie Beach, and spent the night in a hostel there, met up with a couple of British folk and a Dutch lad. Had a quality time, so cheers to Dan, to Zoe, to Sandra, to everybody at the X-Base hostel. It was a quality night that. And then made my way further down towards Rockhampton, spent the night there, well the afternoon there because I was hungover from the night before. And then I headed down to Noosa, which is just up the road from where I am now. I met an old mate of mine from my door days in Glasgow, Fintan Kyo, so Finn, Rachel, Una and Ferg. It was fantastic to spend a day or two with you guys there, and then I'm going to go and see them for New Year's Eve as well in Brisbane, so that'll be cracking. So now I'm heading up towards Glasshouse Mountains, and I'm going to meet up with Andy Reynolds, a chap who is following on Facebook. He's a mate of Mike's. Mike Envis is from Hazelmere Motorcycles. So yeah, it'll be quality to meet him. He's been in touch for a long time now, been giving me some great support, and I'm looking forward to spending the day going around Glasshouse Mountains, across to Australia Zoo. It should be top. Absolutely loving Oz. absolutely loving the place. It's just what I needed. It's what a country. I can seriously see why so many people come here and stay. It's there's a real vibe about the place. Like, you know, it sounds corny, but a land of opportunity. You know, you feel like you can come here, and if you put graft in, you can do all right. You'll do okay here. And excellent weather, fantastic, massive country where everything and anything is possible. You know, if you like your snow sports, they've got the mountains where you can go do that. There's beaches everywhere where you can do this. There's the whole outward bound lifestyle if you want that. It just seems a healthy, vibrant place to come and live, and you know, things work out, start a family, who knows, but I don't know, still a long way to go yet. I've still got South America, the States, Canada, and then back home. I'm really missing home, I have to say. I am really missing home, and I know you'll think that's insane when you're sitting in all the pissy weather and the cold back home, but I miss it. It's not till you've not got what you're familiar with that you really start to appreciate it, I think. And I miss bits of the UK. I miss Nicky, I miss my boy, I miss my mates. Yeah, even you, Turner and Woody, you know. But I'm looking forward to getting back out on the bike, tearing up the south of England with Jimbo and Dave and Russ and Woody, and, you know, all my muckers back there. So it'll be good. Can't wait. But I'm loving this. Absolutely loving it.
Andy and Linda Reynolds took me for a blast round the Glasshouse Mountains. Incredible, brilliant roads they've got right on their doorstep. After that, I went for a quick jaunt round Australia Zoo.
I waited at the stop sign, got a hole in my head, carefully entwined on the roots of the dead. Somebody help me out. For 7 years I waited, you buried me alive, but crying out the angels got my soul running back. Can somebody tell me why?
Then it was beer o'clock in one of the famous Etamoga pubs. Afterwards, Linda cooked us a cracking roast and we had a great evening.
No pressure.
Unfortunately, it was soon time to say goodbye to Andy, Linda, Kelly and Leah. Thanks so much guys for looking after me. It was an absolute pleasure to meet you.
Bye bye, Brucey. Safe trip.
Bye bye. Thank you very much for looking after me.
You're welcome, mate.
Appreciate it.
See you on your return.
Yes. Just got somebody to convince yet.
Yeah, I'm sure you will.
Cheers now then.
No worries, buddy. Here we are with Bruce and his bald knob.
Is that recording, is it?
Yep.
What's this all about? Must have known I was coming.
Next it was time to head to Brisbane and meet up with Finn and Rachel again to spend New Year's Eve and New Year's Day with them and the kids. We had a great evening, and the next day Finn and Una took me for a whistle-stop tour of Brisbane.
Modelled it on me, I think.
Waiting at the stop sign by the never-ending road, been hanging around for ages. Now I've come to take you home. No one's gonna see you, no one's gonna know. I'll meet you at the stop sign by the never-ending road. Somebody tell him why.
Morning folks, it's 3rd of January 2014. I think it's day 240, 250, something like that. I am now sort of north of Sydney, kind of a third of the way back across the country, heading west now. I stayed in a place called Double last night, met up with a guy called Andrew Edwards. You won't have seen the video yet because that footage is all on the hard drive that crashed. But I met an Aussie chap, another Aussie chap, halfway through Russia, just out in Irkutsk actually, near Lake Baikal. And this was a chap called Andrew Edwards. So Andrew and I spent a couple of days riding around Lake Baikal, top bloke, and he's carried on following the journey. Now he's back here. So he rode all the way from Sydney to Double yesterday to meet me. Just a little trip for him, I think about 500k, 600k. So he rode there, met up with me last night. We went out for a few beers, a bite to eat last night, and then he's just shot off this morning. He's heading back to Sydney. And I'm going to head to Broken Hill now, which is where they film Mad Max. And then from there I'll head across to Adelaide, then Adelaide down to Melbourne. I'm not going to have time to get to Tasmania now, unfortunately. I haven't got the money. Australia, beautiful country, great people, but by God is it expensive. It's like $50 flying out your wallet every time you stop almost. So yeah, the money is not good, so I'm going to have to curtail a lot of things. Shame, but country's awesome. Anyway, let's get back to the road.
Adelaide was next, where Adam Baird had kindly invited me to come and stay with him, his beautiful wife Catherine, and their cracking wee lad Josh. Adam and Catherine really welcomed me into their family, and it was a joy to spend a couple of days with you guys. Adam took me for a spin round the mountain roads, and we even went to a bike me barbecue at their mate JD's. But as is always the case, it was soon time to move on. Adam and JD took me for a quick spin round Adelaide, and then Adam joined me on a ride south as I headed down to the coast on the Great Ocean Road.
Oh yeah, a celebration of what's to come, a better future. We'll see it done. For every teardrop you've shed and made, we will be stronger to fight the pain. I wanna wake up without sorrow. I wanna step out in a world that's brighter. We are the people of tomorrow. We stand together, raise our
stuck inside his prison cell. Bye-bye, now you gone. Look, the cat is in the cradle, but you are moving on. Guess I had to see you later. Oh, get ready now, there's something in the air. This could be happening, so come on, I'll take you there. Hi, hi, everybody, move your body, sing along until the dawn, and lift your hands up. Hi, hi, you are flying tonight, and let the rhythm take control, and lift your hands up high. Well, now there you go, faster than a cannonball. You made it to the show right before the curtain call. Hey, hey, it's me again. Look who crawled up from the well. This must be heaven. I am left behind the gates of hell. Oh, get ready now, there's something.
Craig Stratford had been following on Facebook, and I met up with him and his mate Ian and his Mrs Ellie in Melbourne itself. Later on I met up with Ronan Pringle, my old schoolmate, who I hadn't seen in over 16 years. Next it was time to hit the road again, this time heading north to Canberra, but I couldn't miss out in visiting Ramsey Street.
About to leave, already packing, come with me, I'm not really asking, we'll get away to a place where we don't know. About to see the world in action, what we can be, life with no distractions, we'll get away, this is what we waited for. Take my hand, we'll make it somehow, we can't miss out. I'm done living life with the lights out, down with my own doubts. Be free with me. Be free. Be free.
Phil Cricks was another Aussie I met in Vladivostok, Russia. He was riding his bike from Magadan all the way across to London. I stopped in by Canberra and Phil very kindly put me up and gave me a guided tour of the city.
With me.
Oh yes, fantastic. You got a
I'm
love Australia.
looking back, eyes on the
yeah. And then there's Phil.
A classic cliche, we're on the run. This is what we waited for. Oh, yeah. Take my hand, we'll make it somehow. We can't miss out. I'm done living life with the lights out, down with my own doubts. Be free with me.
So of course, just like the UK and Australia, there's petrol rationing, so petrol is really hard to come by. This was fairly common to have what they call a gas wood burner. Okay, so you would use wood, cut up into small pieces. It could take quite a while to start the car, but you started basically a fire on there. You'd start the car, get the fire going, you'd start the car in petrol, then switch it to the wood gas. Okay, and basically the motion of the car would keep the wood rattling around so it wouldn't clog up. And basically that went through like a water filter because there's a lot of soot on there, and that would power your car. So you get about half the power what you would on petrol, but at least you could get something out of it and get around town.
This was the first Prius.
Yeah, yes, yeah, that's right.
All too soon it was time to leave Phil, so I donned the shrinking suit and headed east to Sydney.
Be free with me.
Fergal Donahue had been following on Facebook and invited me to stay with him and his family in Sydney. His wife Clouda and wee lad Riley were the best hosts in the world, and they introduced me to their mate Mike Harrison, who took me on a little tour of the bay.
That is crazy to think this is where it all started.
This is where it all started, mate, just on the other side of that little thing there.
This could be happening, so come on and take it there. Hi, hi, everybody, move your body, sing along until the dawn and lift your hands up. Hi, hi, you fly into the night and let the rhythm take control and lift your hands up.
Just going for a quick spin on the boat, as you do. Life's tough in Sydney.
You know who's the man on the street? Now where should he go? Moving closer to the heat. Bye bye, now he's gone.
It's a tough life, isn't it?
Well, he's moving on.
The morning I left, Fergal and Clouda took me on a tour of Sydney city centre with a stop off at the famous Opera House and the Harbour Bridge. Cheers guys, I had a really good couple of days with you and it was a pleasure to meet you all. I hope our paths cross in the future, and Fergal, I'll see you at the TT.
Got to say a huge thanks to Fergal and Clouda for looking after me. It was a pleasure to meet you guys. I hope we keep in touch. Next I moved back over to Andrew Edwards' place and stayed with him and his wife Susan. Andrew gave me a hand crating up the bike and we got that sent straight off to the shippers. There was absolutely no issues there whatsoever. I had a couple of days to sort a few things out and then we had a night out on the town where I caught up with loads of followers from Facebook and also some old mates. It was a good night.
In a film, no war. I'm floating around 10 feet over the ground. I'm floating around 10 feet over the ground. I know you like it. I think I like it too. Yeah, I know you like it.
Morning folks, last day in Oz today, heading off to Chile. It's been a while since we've spoken. I'm thoroughly depressed now. Australia is one hell of a country, fantastic country. You need more than a month. It's been amazing here. I wish I had another
23 years or something like that here. It's an amazing place just to come and see the lifestyle, everything about the place, the people. I love it, absolutely love it. So Nikki, we're having words when I get back. But next stop, life goes on, is across to Chile. Everything's been far too smooth with the shipping. I'm a bit worried because there's been no mishaps so far. So we'll see what the next stage brings. I'm looking forward to getting back on the road again, but I'm going to miss this place. Live your life.
Hey, hey, what you know? Who's the frog in the well? Got nowhere to go, stuck inside his prison cell.
I'd never heard about this, no one had ever mentioned it. But it cost $450 deposit to get into Mexico. And that's official, that was through Aduana, the customs people themselves. I tried to argue for about an hour and got nowhere. They basically just said, well, you can turn around and go back if you want. So I had to pay the $450 and that's emptied the tank. That's completely cleaned me out now. So I don't know what I'm going to do.
Bye-bye, now you gone. Look, the cat is in the cradle, but you are moving on. Guess I had to see you later. Oh, get ready now, there's something in the air. This could be